There have been calls today for the government to suspend all arms exports to Israel. MPs from the south were involved in heated exchanges in the Commons as protesters gathered outside Parliament. Our political editor Peter Henley joins me in the studio. Peter, what was said today?
Well, there was a lot of passion. Many people from the south travelling up to Westminster to lobby the government over this. They were debating a motion by Jeremy Corbyn wanting tougher sanctions against Israel. And one of their main demands was an end to arms sales. The protesters encircled Parliament with a symbolic red line saying all supply of weapons must end. And in the Commons chamber, the Liberal Democrat MP from Dorset, Vicky Slade, called for controls on components that could be weaponised. Now, this is to do with a company in Ferndown, RCV Engines, who she wrote to. They build engines for drones, but for peaceful uses. And the MP's concern, and that of the Dorset Green Party, is because the logo of this Dorset company appeared in a promotional video for an Israel Aerospace Industries quadcopter. The company say any criticism of them is totally unwarranted. They didn't supply them. But Vicky Slade says regulations need to be tighter.
Can he confirm that export of all items, both with licences and those that sit outside the rules or have authorised exemptions, are being reviewed, so items like drones used for decoys and surveillance being used against civilians and aid convoys will fall under the restrictions, so these things do not go under the radar?
Now, the minister said he's looking into it, and the company have tried to explain what went on here. The engines were sold before the invasion of Gaza. They supplied a limited quantity to an overseas developer, not this Israeli group. The engines they've supplied have only been in prototype drones, not used in military campaigns. They say they will not be supplying engines for any operational drones to Israel, and they've given a notice of termination of supply to their Israeli customer. And there are tougher government restrictions now in place on arms sales.
This doesn't go far enough for protesters, though, does it?
Absolutely not, no. The Palestinian ambassador was present at this demonstration outside Parliament, and I asked him what he thought of this appearance of the Dorset company's components in Israel.
Scientific cooperation and technical cooperation and technological cooperation must be suspended until a country that is accused of committing genocide ceases to do that, and until international law is fully applied, and until...
Would it really make a difference?
It will make the only difference.
And apart from the protests and sanctions, Peter, there have been other moves to show people's concerns about what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah, a group of senior Conservative MPs from our area took a letter to the Prime Minister in Downing Street saying, if you have a Palestinian state and recognise it, that could make a real difference. They say Labour's not going far enough.
No, they're not doing enough. They're doing a lot of talking, and there's been some meagre action, sanctions here and there, but nothing the government has done, and frankly nothing the previous government did, has made the slightest bit of difference. So now is the time to do something unexpected, something a bit more courageous.
Of course, the Prime Minister's under pressure from Labour MPs as well. Many people appalled at what's happening in Gaza. Quite what to do about it is still not clear.
Peter, for now, thank you. Peter Henley there.